Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams, and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses BJP National Office Bearers meeting in Jaipur, says opposition is trying to divide the nation on caste and religion. Quad Leaders Summit to be held in Tokyo on Tuesday. Prime Minister to participate in summit and also to hold bilateral talks with US President and Prime Ministers of Japan and Australia. Finance Minister expresses concern about possible cartelization in markets, calls for a look into causes of short supply of commodities. President Ramnath Kovind addresses Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, says reforms at global institutions is the need of the hour. CBI conducts raids at multiple locations related to RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in the railway job scam. In Bihar, 37 people killed in lightning and rain-related incidents. Flood alert issued in 5 northern districts of Tamil Nadu. Normal life disrupted in several places in Kerala due to heavy rains. Nikhat Zareen wins gold at Women's World Boxing Championships in Istanbul. Manisha Maun and Parveen Huda win bronze. Prime Minister Modi congratulates Nikhat and other winners. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals and Chennai Super Kings to play their last group stage match at Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today accused the opposition of trying to divide the nation on caste and religion. He said some political parties were injecting poison in the country for their own selfish interests.
विकासवाद की राजनीति से बच नहीं सकते, मजबूरन विकासवाद में आना ही पड़ रहा है। तो उन्होंने राजनीति में विकासवाद को भी विकृति के दिशा में धकेल दिया। ये राजनीतिक दल तत्कालीन लाभ के लिए, फायदे के लिए देश के उज्जवल भविष्य के साथ, राज्य के उज्जवल भविष्य के साथ, देश की युवा पीढ़ी के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ करते हैं, उसे खोखला करने का भी काम कर रहे हैं। ये राजनीतिक दल अपने स्वार्थ के लिए समाज में जो छोटी मोटी तनाव होते हैं, कुछ कमजोरियां होती हैं, कुछ परसेप्शन होते हैं, उसे ढूंढ करके उसमें जहर डालने का काम करते रहते हैं। उस कमजोरियों पर ही खेलते रहते हैं। कभी जाति के नाम पर, कभी क्षेत्रवाद के नाम पर लोगों को भड़का रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister was addressing the Bharatiya Janata Party delegates after inaugurating the meeting of National Office Bearers in Jaipur today through video conferencing. The PM urged the office bearers to stick to the country's developmental issues. He said we all need to fight all challenges before the country. The entire world is looking towards India with hope. Our mantra is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas. He said the 21st century is important for the country and the whole world is looking towards India with hope. In such a situation during the Amrit Mahotsav of Independence, the country will have to work on planning for the next 25 years.
भाजपा को बहुत विश्वास से, बहुत उम्मीद से देख रही देश की जनता की आशा आकांक्षा हमारा दायित्व बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ा देती। आजादी के इस अमृत काल में देश अपने लिए अगले 25 वर्षों के लक्ष्य तय कर रहा है। भाजपा के लिए ये समय है अगले 25 वर्षों के लक्ष्य तय करने का, उनके लिए निरंतर काम करने का।
The Prime Minister said as BJP workers they have no right to sit in peace. There is a BJP government in 18 states, more than 1,300 MLAs and more than 400 MPs.
आज भी हम अधीर हैं, आज भी हम बेचैन हैं, आज भी हम आतुर हैं, क्योंकि हमारा मूल लक्ष्य भारत को उस ऊंचाई पर पहुंचाना है जिसका सपना देश की आजादी के लिए मर मिटने वालों ने देखा था। जिन सपनों को लेकर के देश के वीर फांसी के फंदे को गले में लगा करके मातृभूमि के लिए आहूत हो गए। हमें अपने स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों का रण कभी चुका नहीं सकते दोस्तों, लेकिन दिन रात मेहनत कर सकते हैं, खुद को देश के लिए खपा सकते हैं। और मुझे खुशी है कि भाजपा का प्रत्येक कार्यकर्ता आज इन भावनाओं से प्रेरित होकर के नित्य नूतन प्राण शक्ति लेकर के अविरत न थके न झुके काम कर रहा है।
He said the parties which are promoting family politics have wasted the valuable time of the country. He said this is a serious threat to the country. The Prime Minister said the BJP has made the politics of development a part of the mainstream in the country. Mr. Modi said the NDA government is completing 8 years. These 8 years have been full of determination and accomplishments. The development of the country has been focused on social justice and empowerment and dignity of the mother, sister, daughters of the country. BJP President J.P. Nadu, along with National Vice Presidents, National General Secretaries, President of all Morchas and Presidents of all states, former Chief Ministers were present during the meeting. More from our Jaipur correspondent.
A total of 4 sessions are to be held in this meeting, in which the upcoming action plan of the party will be discussed. Apart from this, the internal strength of the organization, strong booth, construction and training program are also to be discussed. Party President Mr. Narendra said that a strategy has to be made for the promotion of public welfare schemes of the center. These statements are also to be issued today. The first statement is based on the programs related to the Narendra Modi government, which shall make the country strong. The second statement is related to the recent victory of BJP in 4 states, whereas the third statement will be in relation to the failure of Gehlot government in Rajasthan. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the Quad Leaders Summit in Tokyo on the 24th of this month at the invitation of Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. US President Joe Biden, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, along with the Japanese Prime Minister, will participate in the summit. External Affairs Ministry spokesman Narendra Bagchi informed about the summit in a media briefing in New Delhi last evening.
The forthcoming Quad Summit provides an opportunity for the leaders to exchange views about developments in the Indo-Pacific region and contemporary global issues of mutual interest. The leaders will review progress of Quad initiatives and working groups, identify new areas of cooperation, and provide strategic guidance and vision for future collaborations.
Mr. Bagchi said Prime Minister Modi will have a bilateral meeting with his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida. During the visit, Mr. Modi will participate in business events with Japanese business leaders. He will also address and interact with the Indian community in Japan. The MEA spokesperson informed that the Prime Minister is also likely to hold bilateral meetings with US President Joe Biden and Australian PM Scott Morrison.
During the last leg of his journey to the Caribbean nations, President Ramnath Kovind met Governor-General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dame Susan Duggan. The country signed MOUs on exchange of information and assistance in collection of taxes and on refurbishment of Old Calder Community Project. The President also visited the botanical gardens where he planted a sandalwood sapling. Mr. Kovind addressed the Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He said the need of the hour is to reform of global institutions to reflect the contemporary global reality. He noted that on this issue, India and St. Vincent and the Grenadines share common interest, approach and understanding.
For multilateralism to remain relevant and effective, institutions need to be reformed. Structures and institutions that emerged after the 2 world wars focused on one major issue, that of preventing another world war. To tackle the complex issues of today, the new world order that we seek to build is to be an inclusive world order, where every country can express its legitimate interests. This can only happen by way of an expanded and better designed representation system in key global institutions.
The President also addressed the Indian diaspora of the island nation. During his address, Mr. Kovind said Indian diaspora reflects India's rich diversity, cultural heritage and traditions. More in this report from a correspondent.
Mr. Kovind expressed his confidence that both the nations will continue to work together in advancing the shared objectives of an inclusive world order. India and St. Vincent and Grenadines enjoy friendly and cordial relations. What better can summarize the relations between these two nations than the words of these innocent children of St. Vincent and Grenadines present here to meet the President.
We love India!
Arun Kumar Singh for All India Radio News from Kingstown.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has expressed concerns about possible cartelization in markets and stress on the need to look into the causes of short supply of commodities. Speaking at the 13th Annual Day function of the Competition Commission of India, CCI, the Minister also said that the regulator needs to have proactive understanding of mergers and acquisitions. While mentioning rising commodity prices due to various factors, she said there's a need to look into the causes of the short supply situation. Ms. Sitharaman, who is also in charge of the Corporate Affairs Ministry, said the CCI needs to be sensitive as well as firm. Corporate Affairs Secretary Rajesh Verma said the CCI has made critical interventions to deal with anti-competition matters. Finance Minister inaugurated the CCI's Eastern Regional Office in Kolkata through video conferencing.
A report commissioned by the Economic Advisory Council EAC to the Prime Minister has suggested that the government roll out a Universal Basic Income UBI scheme to reduce stark income gaps. The report also said to launch a guaranteed employment program for the urban unemployed. The report, titled The State of Inequality in India, prepared by the Gurgaon-based Institute for Competitiveness, was released by EAC Chairman Vivek Dev Roy. The report called for raising minimum income and ensuring better distribution of earnings in the labour market. The report also noted a marginal decline in unemployment rate. Minister of State for Steel Fagan Singh Kulaste has said that India's all-time high steel consumption at around 106 million tonnes and production at 120 million tonnes shows not only the resilience of the sector but also displays the exemplary grit and determination of industries. Addressing a conference in New Delhi today on the theme Indian Metals Industry, Current Outlook and Future Trends, Mr. Kulaste said the country exported 13.5 million tonnes of finished steel amounting to 1 lakh crore rupees. He said notwithstanding the challenges arising out of COVID-19, steel sector, both in terms of external trade as well as domestic steel production and consumption, registered a record performance. The minister said metals such as aluminium also witnessed robust growth in terms of production and export.
Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh said agri-tech startups are critical to India's future economy. Dr. Singh mentioned the new wave of agri-tech startups has come up in the last few years due to enabling policy environment provided by the Narendra Modi government to address the problems of Indian agriculture. He was addressing the third edition of Tech Bharat on the theme of transforming India's food tech, agri-tech and agronomic landscape at Central Food Technological Research Institute in Mysuru. During his speech, Dr. Singh said Kisan drones have been promoted for crop assessment, digitization of land records, spraying of insecticides and nutrients in the country. The Supreme Court to resume the hearing of the Gyan Vapi Mosque case at 3 p.m. today after it had adjourned the matter for a day. Yesterday, the Apex Court had asked the Varanasi court, before which the proceedings are pending, not to take any further action in the matter till then.
The CBI is conducting raids at multiple locations related to RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav, his wife and former Bihar Chief Minister Rabri Devi, Rajya Sabha MP Misa Bharti and their family members in alleged land for railway job scam. Raids are being conducted at Patna, Gopalganj and Delhi. CBI team reached the official residence of Rabri Devi in Patna this morning in a case related to the job scam. The CBI is interrogating Rabri Devi in connection with land for railway job scam. The CBI has also registered a fresh case against Lalu Yadav on the charges of taking land from aspirants in return for jobs in the railways. Over 191 crore 96 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said over 15,12,000 doses were administered yesterday. The recovery rate is currently at 98.75%. 2,614 people recovered in the last 24 hours. Total recoveries have reached 4 crore 25 lakh 92,455. 2,259 new cases were recorded in the last 24 hours.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses BJP National Office Bearers meeting in Jaipur, says opposition is trying to divide the nation on caste and religion. Quad Leaders Summit to be held in Tokyo on Tuesday. Prime Minister to participate in summit and also to hold bilateral talks with US President and Prime Ministers of Japan and Australia. Finance Minister expresses concerns about possible cartelization in markets, calls for a look into causes of short supply of commodities. President Ramnath Kovind addresses Parliament of St. Vincent and Grenadines, says the reforms of the global institutions is a need of the hour. CBI conducts raids at multiple locations related to RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in the railway job scam. In Bihar, 37 people killed in lightning and rain-related incidents. Flood alert issued in 5 northern districts of Tamil Nadu. Normal life disrupted in several places in Kerala due to heavy rains. Nikhat Zareen wins gold at the Women's World Boxing Championships in Istanbul. Manisha Mohan and Praveen Hooda wins bronze. Prime Minister Modi congratulates Nikhat and other winners. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals and Chennai Super Kings to play the last group stage match at the Brabant Stadium in Mumbai this evening. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the midday news. In Tamil Nadu, a flood alert has been issued in 5 northern districts that are situated along the river Tenpenayar. The inflow of water into the river Kaveri in Hogenakal has increased to about 46,000 cusecs this morning. Tourists have been banned from visiting the famous waterfall and the coracle operation is also suspended. The inflow into the Mullaperiyar Dam near Theni is also registering gradual rise in water level due to rain in its catchment areas. More from our correspondent.
The Central Water Commission has issued an advisory warning to 9 districts in Tamil Nadu due to heavy inflow into the river Kaveri. They include Dharmaburi, Krishnagiri, Salem, Karur and Namakkal. The water inflow into the Mettur Dam since this morning is 29,000 cusecs, which is expected to rise close to 50,000 cusecs by this night or early tomorrow, say irrigation officials. Rain activity in the catchment areas of river Kaveri in Karnataka and Kerala has helped to maintain a healthy storage of water in Mettur Dam, brightening the prospects of timely release for the next season of crops. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Kerala has been experiencing heavy rainfall for the past few days, disrupting normal life in several places. The Met Department has forecast heavy downpour in the state for the next 4 days. Orange alert has been issued in Ernakulam, Thrissur and Malappuram and yellow alert in Thiruvananthapuram, Kollam and Alappuzha districts today. In Bihar, 37 people were killed and 13 injured in lightning and rain-related incidents in different parts of the state. The victims were mostly farmers working in their fields. Maximum 9 people died in Bhagalpur, followed by 7 in Muzaffarpur and 3 in Vaishali districts. 18 casualties have been reported from 17 districts including Katihar, Kishanganj, Darbhanga and Nalanda. Rail and road traffic were paralyzed at several places due to uprooting of trees and electric poles.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, District Magistrate Pulwama Bashir ul Haq Chaudhary said the administration had completed nearly 2,000 developmental works last year. He said the representatives of Panchayati Raj institutions, PRIs, took ownership of various works and thanks to the active support, the administration could ensure Jan Bhagidari in these projects. In an exclusive interview with AIR News, he said 13 lakh man days were generated under MG Narendra against a target of 9.5 lakh in 2021 as well.
2021 के अंदर 2000 के करीब हमने नंबर ऑफ वर्क्स जो है वो कंप्लीट किए हैं। बाद जो सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम में है जैसे नरेगा है, CMAY है, बस जो सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम में पेंशन्स होती हैं, स्कॉलरशिप्स होती हैं, उनको छोड़ के ये जितना भी हमारा काम था वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट बजट के अंदर किया है। हमारा जैसे लैंग्वेजिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स जितने भी थे वो सारे हमने कंप्लीट किए हैं, जिसमें हमारे मेजर हॉस्पिटल्स आते थे, जिसमें PHCs आ रही थी। बिल्डिंग जो है वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल की बनाई जो लैंग्वेजिंग प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर थी। बहुत सारे हमारे ब्रिजेस थे जो इंपॉर्टेंट एरियाज को कनेक्ट करते थे। हमने 30 डेज में 200 कोविड बेडेड हॉस्पिटल प्रीफैब जो है वो कंप्लीट किया। मेरे पास इस समय डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल में मतलब डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर लगभग 4000 LPM की कैपेसिटी है जो जनरेशन है। मेरे पास 1000 मेगा सिलेंडर्स हैं जो हमें बैकअप भी देंगे। करूंगा कि हमारे पास लगभग 200 ICU बेड जो है वो हमारे पास अवेलेबल है। बेसिक जो फैसिलिटीज जो हम कोविड हॉस्पिटल में चाहिए वो हमने एस्टेब्लिश की। वहां पे RT-PCR की लैब जो है वो हमने एस्टेब्लिश की। उसके बाद जितने भी हमारे पंचायत लेवल पे थे उसमें 5 बेडेड कोविड केयर सेंटर भी हमने बनाए।
Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan, is set to embark on a visit to France to attend Cannes Film Festival from 22nd to 24th of this month. He will attend various events and meetings at the festival.
Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur and his Bangladeshi counterpart Dr. Hassan Mahmood have jointly released a 90-second intriguing trailer of the India-Bangladesh co-production feature film on Bongo Bundhu. The film is named Mujib, The Making of a Nation, and has been directed by Shyam Benegal.
আমি বাঙালি আমি মানুষ আমি মুসলমান একবার মরে দুইবার মরে না নিশির বাতাস কাহার হুতাশ But the new nation of Pakistan will have one national language, Urdu. রাষ্ট্রভাষা বাংলা চাই আমি তোমারে একটা ফুতুর ঘর দিলাম ধানমন্ডি হবে মানতে হবে যে আমাদের Addressing the audience on the occasion, Mr. Anurag Thakur said the movie, while being a co-production of India and Bangladesh, was an initiative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said the movie is a gift on the birth centenary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Commenting on the struggles in the making of the movie, Mr. Thakur said that when the world was going through a challenging time during the COVID pandemic, the work on the movie went on. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
বিধির বাঁধন কাটবে তুমি এমন শক্তিমান তুমি কি এমনি শক্তিমান
In today's episode we remember great nationalist Bipin Chandrapal, who died on the 20th of May 1932. He is widely known as the part of the famous trio of Lal Bal Pal, comprising Lala Lajpat Rai and Bal Gangadhar Tilak.
আমাদের ভাঙা গড়া তোমার হাতে এমন অভিমান তোমাদের এমনি অভিমান
Bipin Chandrapal, popularly known as the Bengal's Tiger, was considered one of the most independent and outspoken thinkers. In the wake of the partition of Bengal in 1905, the British government came out with repressive measures to contain students' participation in the struggle. One of them was the Carlyle Circular, which was issued by the Chief Secretary of Bengal, Thomas Carlyle. Bipin Chandrapal protested strongly against the circular and advocated for education on nationalistic lines. In one of his lectures, he said,
Why should politics be tabooed from our university and our schools? Do they do it in England? Is politics condemned even in the public schools of England? In the universities, do they not discuss patriotic and academical problems, but actually deal with the burning political questions of the day?
Bipin Chandra continued to work for the nation till his death. We salute the great nationalist.
We also remember Andhra Kesari Tanguturi Prakasam, who died on the 20th of May 1957. Prakasam protested against the Simon Commission and took part in the Salt Satyagraha and the Quit India movement.
Prakasam was born on the 23rd of August 1872 in Guntur district of present-day Andhra Pradesh. In 1904, Prakasam went to study law in the United Kingdom. During his time in the UK, he interacted with Indian nationalist leaders like Dadabhai Naoroji, Ramesh Chandra Dutt and Lala Lajpat Rai. The nascent interest he developed in the Indian independence movement was then fueled when he returned to India and started practicing at the Madras High Court. Inspired by the speeches of Bipin Chandrapal, who was campaigning in Madras during the early 1900s, Prakasam decided to give up his law practice and devote
Commission and led the successful Salt March in the Madras Presidency. He was arrested for his participation in the Quit India movement. He was popularly known as Andhra Kesari, the Lion of Andhra, for his valor during protests against the Simon Commission. He started the newspaper Swaraj in English, Tamil and Telugu. The newspaper served as a platform for his involvement in ground-level politics.
Prakasam was elected to the Madras Provincial Legislature in 1937 and served as the Revenue Minister. He won the elections again in 1946 and became the Chief Minister of Madras Presidency. Prakasam was also elected to the Constituent Assembly from Madras.
After independence, Prakasam worked towards the creation of the state of Andhra Pradesh on linguistic lines. He formed the Hyderabad State Praja Party in 1952. Prakasam was appointed as the first Chief Minister of the newly formed state of Andhra Pradesh in 1953. Till his death on the 20th of May 1957, Prakasam continued to work for the weaker sections of the society. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember Indian National Army member Lance Naik Hariram. A resident of Haryana, Hariram served in the 3rd Guerrilla Regiment of INA and was martyred in action near Indo-Burma borders on the 20th of May 1944. We salute the great son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Indian boxer Nikhat Zareen clinched the gold medal at the IBA Women's World Boxing Championships after registering a dominating 5-0 victory in Istanbul yesterday. Nikhat thrashed Thailand's Jitbong Jutamas without breaking a sweat in the 52-kilogram final, with judges scoring the bout unanimously in her favour. It was India's first gold medal since boxing great Mary Kom won it in 2018. Apart from Nikhat, 2 Indian boxers Manisha Mon in the 57-kilogram and Parveen Hooda in the 63-kilogram category signed off with bronze medals after the semi-finals finish in the championships. The Prime Minister has congratulated Nikhat Zareen on winning the gold medal. He also congratulated Manisha Mon and Parveen Hooda for the bronze medals in the same competition. The Prime Minister said our boxers have made us proud. In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals and Chennai Super Kings will lock horns in the last group stage match at the Brabant Stadium in Mumbai at 7:30 p.m. this evening.
Now let us take a quick look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi is expected to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder and lightning. Minimum temperature was 31 degrees Celsius while maximum will be around 44 degrees. Mumbai is expected to have generally cloudy sky. Chennai is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. Kolkata is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses BJP National Office Bearers meeting in Jaipur, says opposition is trying to divide the nation on caste and religion. Quad Leaders Summit to be held in Tokyo on Tuesday. Prime Minister to participate in summit and also to hold bilateral talks with US President and Prime Ministers of Japan and Australia. Finance Minister expresses concern about possible cartelization in markets, calls for a look into causes of short supply of commodities. President Ramnath Kovind addresses Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, says reforms at global institutions is the need of the hour. CBI conducts raids at multiple locations related to RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in the railway job scam. In Bihar, 37 people killed in lightning and rain-related incidents. Flood alert issued in 5 northern districts of Tamil Nadu. Normal life disrupted in several places in Kerala due to heavy rains. Nikhat Zareen wins gold. Manisha Mon and Parveen Hooda win bronze in Women's World Boxing Championships in Istanbul. PM congratulates them. And with that, we end the midday news.